Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, welcome to Pod Tiki. My name is Tony, and we got a very special episode of How To, where we're going to make a drink with my special friend. Not special in that way, but he is kind of special. We got Chris Husak. You guys might recognize that voice. What's up, Chris?
What up, brother?
You might recognize that voice. If you used to listen to our old podcast, Share Your Buzz, which is still available on podtiki.com. You can go to SYB, that stands for Share Your Buzz, SYB Archive, and all the episodes are on there. And we got Chris with us tonight because we got a special announcement for the Pod Tiki listeners. We will be starting Share Your Buzz back up again in the spring.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Woo! Yes! Finally.
You
It's a little bit different. It's more of an interview-based show, and it works really well if you do it in person because we like to make drinks while we're doing it. And we were going on, we were swinging up, and then COVID came and just backhanded us right back down again.
COVID backhanded everyone.
Yeah, and it's really hard to do an interview show where you drink and get to interact with each other in the room.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that over Zoom. We couldn't have done that on that.
Talking into a microphone with a mask isn't necessarily, the best sound quality and other stuff.
And you don't get the vibe of being in the room together when you're over Zoom or things like that. And we had to do it, but some people did it. Yeah. I did it a few times for this show. It opened up a lot of avenues, but for Share Your Buzz, we need to have that that in person. I want to see the drunk sweat coming off your.
Yeah.
I can see the glassiness of your eye. But anyway, I thought today actually just worked out as the perfect episode for us to do together because we have a link with Share Your Buzz.
That's right.
With Reyka Vodka. If you guys are longtime listeners or listen to Share Your Buzz, you remember way back, I forget the date even, but it was a long time ago when we had Trevor Schneider on. The Cocktail Ninja. Yep.
Good time, good episode.
He introduced us to Reyka Vodka, and they've been a friend of the show ever since, both Share Your Buzz and Pod Tiki. You guys know that every time I talk about vodka, I use Reyka. It blows me away that this is only a $20 bottle.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is one of the only vodka, because I'm not a vodka guy, but this is the one vodka that I can literally, couple ice cubes, squeeze a lime. It's got super smooth.
It says small batch vodka, handcrafted in Iceland, and I tell you what, it has a small batch, a very craft flavor to it. It doesn't. It tastes humid and a little bit earthy and vegetal, like a grain alcohol should, without being too stereotypically alcohol burning. You know what I'm saying?
It's clean.
I think he made us a couple of martinis when we did the episode, which don't tell him, but since then I've come to realize that a martini has to be gin.
Is that?
That's my personal. That's my personal.
I might have had one martini in my entire life, and I think it was that night. So.
But still, for the drink that we're about to make tonight, or anytime I use vodka, there's a couple of tiki drinks that use vodka. I always go for this. Tonight we're making a classic drink cocktail that goes back to once again Prohibition era. And, we were talking a little bit before the show. I was telling you the story. This is one of those three-way serendipitous stories.
That's right.
Where somebody had some vodka, somebody had some ginger beer, and then some crazy Russian lady had a bunch of copper mugs that she hauled all the way from Europe to try to sell in California. But I'm not going to go too into the story because I want you guys to go to the episode and listen to it. But this is one of those three things, Holy Trinity, come together.
It just collides
and,
to make goodness.
It's one of those things where it was... the story goes that this was they labored all day to come up with this perfect recipe. I contend that lime juice, vodka, and ginger beer. It doesn't. If I gave you these ingredients, you could probably make this drink in a couple of minutes. It wasn't.
Exactly,
I don't know about how belaboring they were over making this cocktail.
I guarantee you, someone in their home probably made this cocktail.
Without even knowing what it was.
Without even knowing.
How many times have you gone to the bar? Our third co-host on the Share Your Buzz is a big fan of the whiskey ginger ale.
He's a whiskey man, yeah.
So, and that is an old cocktail, the horse's neck, whiskey and ginger beer. One fact that I didn't know, the difference between ginger beer and ginger ale was, back in the day, Prohibition era, all ginger ale was like ginger beer. It was real, gingery and spicy. Gotcha. It wasn't until later when they toned it down that ginger ale became popular.
Okay.
But... Yeah. If you haven't latched on yet, if you haven't noticed, and by the copper mugs, we're making Moscow Mules today. So I gotta tell you, man, this is one of my go-tos. At the in the heart of winter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this time of year, if you're watching this when it comes out, we're mid-February, and I hate this time of year.
Yeah, me too.
Cold, winter doldrums, gray, nothing's happening.
That space right after the holidays, before spring.
Yeah.
Dead zone.
There's nothing. And Nashville gets real gray and dreary this time of year.
And the trees are kind of gray.
Yeah, they look all kind of like they're reaching out to get away. It's all bony and stuff. Yeah, there's nothing cute about this time of year. So brighten it up with a bright, spicy cocktail like a Moscow Mule, man. And I feel like the ginger and lime juice go together in such a way that like really add up. When you say spicy with ginger, it's not like it's a slight peppery spice, and then like a earthy vegetal undertones from the ginger. I think a lot of times we try to put flavor notes onto things and we forget that they are their own flavor. Like ginger is its own flavor.
It is.
So let's not try to pick it apart too much.
Yeah,
and
let's not on the roots, guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's a root that grows out of the ground that happens to taste pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So
these are Reka.
These are actually Reka specific.
These are legit right here, guys.
Legit. All right.
Okay.
Enough of our blabbering. Let's get to the cocktail. We're gonna start off with 2 ounces of Reka vodka.
The best.
Bang. We'll do 2 ounces apiece here. You can see that this bottle is almost gone because I've been doing a lot of testing for the episode.
Yeah, give me those 2 ounces.
That's a smooth 2 right there.
That's a smooth 2, buddy.
We're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. Don't be using that packaged stuff you get at the store that comes in the plastic.
I just saw him squeeze it just a minute ago.
Yep. Then we're gonna do 3 ounces of ginger beer. I use the Reeds. If you listen to the episode, you hear the whole story about the original ginger beer that this was made with. It's still available. I'm not going to name drop here. I name drop in the episode. But to me, it's way too spicy.
Is this local to the States? Or
this is Jamaican.
It's Jamaican, okay.
And it's the best on the market, I think. I'll drink this like it's ginger ale, like it's soda.
Okay.
It's not terribly spicy,
yeah.
but it's got a really good like ginger vegetal kind of note to it.
Sure.
Some of these ginger beers that like go over the top with spice.
Uh-huh.
It reminds me of how when triple IPAs came out, and everybody thought they wanted to be badasses by drinking all the hops. You know,
Yeah,
it's like come on, guys, like you don't need to over. Or nowadays people do it with the overproof, barrel proof, spirits.
Yeah.
Like I don't need 150%. I don't want to be drunk off a sip.
Yeah, right.
Like I want to enjoy my cocktail.
Or you're doing a shot of whiskey and it goes down like
it's Fireball. It's like, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, this. Yeah, there's no reason to drink Fireball. Just drink a bottled and bond bourbon, and you'll be good to go. We're gonna do 3 ounces of ginger beer. Bang bang.
He's got the turn down. What do you call that?
Turn down for what? All right, we're gonna throw some ice in here.
Yeah,
go ahead and ice me up, brother.
Let's do this.
It's cool that this is a cocktail that we build in the glass. So everything that you need for this, you can get at the store, and you don't need to get anything extra. I have a bar spoon here, but you can use a regular spoon. You can use a fork if you want. I don't care.
Who cares?
So.
Can I get on the ice, my man?
Put a couple more scoops in mine, man. You can make it how you like it. I like a lot of ice mine down. I feel like a Moscow Mule should be cold and crisp and really embody the that hard winter kind of Icelandic feel. That Eastern Bloc, Russian, Ukrainian kind of thing.
Got to keep warm somehow, man.
Yep. All right. And I feel like the copper mug really does help exemplify that kind of feeling of, hey, we're in the middle of winter, we're cold. This is a spirit that comes from the heart of, that comes from like Siberia and shit. Like,
nothing like a cold spirit to warm the heart.
All right, let's see.
Three more, please.
Right? It's like it's crisp, almost like a fresh like champagne or white wine. How it comes crisp and cold. And it kind of, even though we're in the middle of winter, and you think, well, why would you want to drink a drink that makes you colder? It really it does embody that whole sense of like like I feel like when I'm drinking this, I feel like I want to put on my pea coat and a scarf
Yeah.
and a beanie
Yeah.
and just like kind of go walking along like a downtown cityscape with my wife, you know, just kind of like arm in arm, kind of, you know, looking at the snowfall and stuff. Like,
We'll
just
put one of these in like a thermos and go on a hike or something. You know what I mean? Like in the woods, man. With your dog. That's what I want to do.
Ice fishing with one of these.
Ooh.
Sitting on the ice, just.
Oh yeah. A little ice shack. I gotta say, with this regular vodka, it's so smooth that it's like, it doesn't take away from that ginger beer, you know, in the lime. It's so tasty. It's perfect. It's
That,
a good
again,
balance, you know.
It's a very soft spirit. Whereas sometimes when you come to these grain spirits, whether it's bourbon or especially vodka, again, I'm like you, man. I'm not a vodka connoisseur, so I'm very surface level when it comes to my vodka expertise. But
I know nothing.
this spirit is so, you know, I spoke earlier of that like humidity kind of flavor. It has a softness. It has a softness to it that rounds the drink out, which really benefits the sharpness of ginger beer.
Yeah.
And then the lime juice kind of adds that citrusy kind of sweetness, takes away a little bit. But you really do need a rounded spirit.
Yeah.
I feel like if you used a cheaper vodka that was just really like in your face alcohol,
Too much bite.
it wouldn't. Yeah, it would be too much bite.
Yeah.
Because even though this elicits a sense of frigidity in you, like it's cold, but it's also soft in the sense where like the warm ginger, you know, like comes out, and so even though it's cold to the touch and cold to the drink,
I love the coffee.
it's got
That's cool.
the flavor has got a warmth to it from the ginger that kind of tricks your brain a
I
little
see what
bit.
you're saying. Yeah, yeah. It's hit me. I'm already feeling warmer.
Yeah, this is a go-to for me
I love the coffee
in the winter. Please go check out the episode, podtiki.com, Spotify, iHeart Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, all that stuff, or Apple Podcasts, whatever they call it now. While you're perusing the streaming services, you should also check out a band called Malibu Blackout.
Of course. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. We're getting ready to drop an album, so you guys get ready.
If you guys haven't heard them, you can actually find an interview with them on the Share Your Buzz. You go to podtiki.com, look at the SYB archive. You will be able to look through all of the old Share Your Buzzes, get caught up, see what we're all about.
Lots of bands on there, too.
Lots of bands on there, comedians, interviews with local breweries, cigar makers, some distillers, a lot of breweries.
Yeah, we went on a brewery tour there.
We did go on a while. We did Mill Creek, we did Mayday, we did a couple of tap houses, Jackalope. We did Principal Cigars is on there. We have so many to check out, comedians, artists. It really was a community of people that we had built.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've been out of the game for a while, but I feel like this is the right time to get back into it.
We'll be back.
Because things are finally just getting back. I think we're both at a little bit of a better places in our lives than we were during COVID.
Sure,
So I think there's well, we'll talk about this when we get the recording again.
Yeah.
We all went through. COVID was weird for everybody, but yeah. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have started this podcast, and now look where we are. So
Tiki's amazing, guys. Check out his back catalog too.
Oh, thank you, brother.
It's good. It's
So,
really good.
I
Very
think
knowledgeable and fun.
we're gonna go finish these
good
Moscow Mules. Oh, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Pod Tiki on YouTube. I think I need a few more followers to where I can hit that level where I need to start going live, and we can do these on YouTube, and I can interact with you guys. Also, check out Rum_Poet on Instagram if you want to follow my personal page, and Pod_Tiki if you want to follow the podcast page. You can search Pod Tiki on Facebook too. Got a lot of interaction on Facebook lately. Please check that out. I love interacting with you guys. I love going back and forth. I love the little arguments about cocktails and things, the little bickers. I love that kind of stuff. And then I'll be posting on there when we drop the new Share Your Buzz stuff.
Yep.
So check out Malibu Blackout on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. If you're in the local Nashville area, check out Tin Roof Cats, a Grateful Dead. I don't even want to say cover band, because they're not a cover band. They're a Grateful Dead tribute band who plays their own kind of interpretations of the songs.
I've yet to see them, but I'm really excited because I'm a big Dead head.
Yeah.
So,
So if you're in the Nashville area, they're playing live all over the place in town. So check them out. Tin Roof Cats, and
It's a cool
yeah.
band name too.
Yeah.
It's a cool band name.
Yeah, everybody's got a cool. Tin Roof Cats, Malibu Blackout. Like what do I got? I got Pod Tiki. It's a little too on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah, but it's still great. It's great. I'm not smart enough to put those two words together and this is it.
All right, guys.
Peace.
We'll see you next time. Peace. Keep it tiki.
Peace.